Welcome to behind the scenes of the Eminem Story Code Case. Now, my name is Eric Chen and I directed the short film. I'm super excited for all of you to experience it, but before we begin, you should go watch the short film before watching this because I'm gonna basically spoil the film. I'm gonna walk through the entire process, give you a little bit of exclusive sneak peek of the visual effects breakdowns of it, and yeah, as also said in this title, I tried to compose my own music. I don't have any musical background. I didn't study music at all, but I will try my best. So yeah, here we go! Hello. Now, this is not the normal visual effects breakdowns you will see on demo reels and such, because I'm gonna actually break down a couple of shots that I would like to talk about. So this is my rendition of Notes on a Scene. This shot is broken down into 3 parts. We have, first of all, the background plate, right? This background plate. And then we have the subjects, which are these two. The subjects. And we have the foreground objects, right here. Now, let's start off with the background object. Background object is divided into 2 parts, but I'm gonna focus on the first part. Now, this original background plate that I filmed was about 1 second long, and I wanted this to be a lot longer than 1.5 seconds. So when I went to the rough cut, the shot was super short, and as an audience member, I couldn't register what was going on, so I had to extend it in post. So what I did was I filled it with foreground objects, and that's our stitching points. Also, without the foreground objects, the shot feels very empty, and this part of the story is when this green Eminem is trying to go on this mission, right? So I want this to be an action-packed scene. So what I did was I just took pictures of different objects, and so those are just photos cut out, and the masks are feathered, and then it's relit in After Effects. So this entire composition here is done in After Effects. So here we go. So we have one stitching point right here. That's one stitching point, and another stitching point is at this end of the cracker box. Now I tried my best to stitch these 2 background plates together, but it didn't fit right. So if you go back, these shots doesn't fit perfectly. So that's why. So now the subject here, the Kit Kat here, this is just a 3D scan. But what I did was not a normal 3D scan, but what I did was a LiDAR scan, and it's like an enhanced 3D scan. So if you don't know what a LiDAR scan is, you can go watch a very good video up here by Ren from Quarter Digital. He explains LiDAR scans very well. Watch it after this though, watch it after this. And so that was just a LiDAR scan, and you see this time lapse I'm putting on screen. And the reason why I'm wearing a mask in that is not to keep the chocolate clean, well obviously that, but because I was sick while filming this, so that's what I did. So I 3D scanned it, I imported it, and I cleaned it up and colored it, and then so all these textures are from the LiDAR scan itself. Now this green M&M, I'll put a time lapse here. I just quickly modeled that and then rendered that as a GLBF file? Yeah. So yeah. Now you see this shadow right here. Right here. That's just flipped. The image flipped, and then I warped the image, turned down the opacity, and I just adjusted some keyframes. Now this is another mask point right here, because this white part of the fridge is not reflective enough to create a reflection like this. Now I know it's hard to see right here, I know it's hard to see, but I'll pull up a photo and I will point it out. So that's basically it for the shot. The background plate was just stabilized, camera tracked on After Effects. Now, the background plate, subject, and foreground is divided into 3 pre-comps. Now, the background plate, we attached a Gaussian blur The subject was just a CC fast box blur, as well as the foreground, which was a horizontal CC fast box blur. So you just enhance it, and then the speed at which it's going, so I adjust the blur levels and keyframed it. So yeah, so this shot wasn't too technically complicated, it was just kind of annoying to do. So next shot. So we have this shot. This is one of the first shots I rendered for this short. Now, if you don't know, the short has been in pre-production since May. It's supposed to be the August short film to start off a brand new school year, but I underestimated the work for the visual effects, so I have to push it to September. So that's why you're watching this on release on September 1st, 2025. So that's why. This is one of my favorite shots actually, because it's really inspired by those 1950s Superman comic movies. I'll pull up a clip right now.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me? Who's got you?
Now, this shot right here, let's start off with the background plate. Now, what I did for the background plate was I just took my camera and just boomed it down the middle of my fridge. And then I looped it many times because it was like half a second. And then I just added the CC fast box blur, but I mixed it with other blurs in After Effects, and I keyframed it to have this vertical smear lines. So instead of horizontal from this shot here, instead of horizontal, I changed it to vertical to have that flying down movement. Now the green M&M itself, I already showed you, I modeled it. So this was just hand animated in After Effects. I will pop up a timeline somewhere of the keyframes. And so this was just done in one After Effects composition. It wasn't too hard, it looks really cool, and I'm kind of proud of the shot. So yeah, and then the lighting, we have two sets of lighting. Now I horrendously drew two lights, one key light and one fill light, so you can see what direction they're coming from. So as you can see in the shot itself, the lights are just changing. It's just simple keyframes. This fill light is not changing at all, it's just changing the brightness. So this shot I'm actually really proud of, and it's not that hard to do, and it looks really cool. So yeah, next shot. This shot right here. I also had no clue on how I was going to do this shot, and it didn't turn out the way that I envisioned it, but it's alright. The light in here though, I'm very proud of. It looks really nice. So let me break it down. So we have the background plate, right? And these two M&Ms here, these are both CG M&M. These are CG. These are fake. So I modeled the green M&M, right? And then I did the same thing for the yellow and the purple M&Ms. So this string right here, this is a practical string, and I taped it right behind this green M&M. I taped it so the green M&M is covering the tape marks, and in addition to that, you can see the tape marks right here on the M&Ms, and it didn't look nice at all. So I tried to tape it on the back, and it just wouldn't stick. So that's why I decided to go full CG with these two M&Ms. Now the string, this right down here, I had to hold it right here or it would swing too much and it would cover my frame too much. I just wanted this layer of depth right here, because if we put the string right here lining up with this line, yes, it's symmetrical, but it doesn't show depth. It doesn't show any layer of depth in the shot. So I wanted this to be on the side so I can see the layer of depth with this shelf. Now, this right here, it's both backlit right here. The light is coming from over here, so it's just backlit, as you can see. And yeah, that's it for the shot. The lighting here is really nice, but the shot is not how I intended it to be. So that's one of the examples of how you envision it versus the final product. It's not always how you envision it, and that's alright, because maybe it's for the good, maybe it's for the bad, who knows. So next shot. Now, can anyone guess how this shot was made? It's very simple. It's just a simple hue shift. Now, you might be thinking, hey, what are you talking about? And let me break that down for you. So, we have this. This is at the end of the short, and this is when you reveal the enemy, the antagonist, and the antagonist. The entire story was yellow. That was the antagonist. Whoops, I just poked a hole in my paper, but that's okay. Yellow was the antagonist, and so it murdered the friends of purple and green. But remember, green was full CG for the entire short. So how do I make it so the M&M is cracked? Do I really want to model an entire cracked M&M just for this one shot, or use visual effects to enhance it and change it with a practical thing? So what I did was I filmed the shot, and this is actually a pink M&M. You can see little tints of pink right here. First is the black shadow, and I will pull it up on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. And it's just a simple hue shift. I just masked around this green M&M. I keyframe the mask, feather the mask, so you see there's a horizon line right here. Right here. This side is white and this side is yellow. You see the definite color change, but that's okay. It's feathered in so much that you can't tell. So that's all the shots I have to break down for you. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be happy to talk about any shots you have questions about. Now, why did the schedule go from 3 days to 6 days? Now, if you search up M&M story on YouTube, you either get one of two options. You either get one a very, very long time ago, maybe like 13 years ago, stop motion film, right, of M&M's walking in a fridge or something like that. Or you get a fridge short film. But there's nothing like this. This is one of a kind, original story, original concept. Now this is the last part of the video, the score and how I composed the score for the M&M Story Code Case, my newest short film. Now this is nothing professional, I just wanted to try something different because I've always been interested in leitmotifs and film score, but I've never actually had leitmotifs in my film since I've never actually composed a score before. So that's why I wanted to add this new element, this unique element to this film. Here we go. So unfortunately you can't hear what I'm listening to due to technical difficulties, but if you want to listen to the score, you can press the eye icon on the top right hand corner of the screen. You can listen to the score in its entirety, just the score, and if you want to hear it with the film, you can press the film, also in the eye icon that should pop up soon. Now here you go. Now this beginning bit, I wanted some ominous music, but I tried violins and cellos, but it added too much of a sound, right? It's too distracting in the background. And we have a narration in the beginning, so I wanted something ominous, so I found drums. So every time it cut in the intro, it goes doom, doom, and then you see later on this next bit, the title, is when the drums goes do 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 do, and then the last do is when it cuts to the next bit. You can hear do. Beginning narration for me played as like a prologue. Now we're actually getting into the story. Now you also hear a leitmotif for the first time, and if you don't know what a leitmotif is, a very good video, I forgot by who, explains why leitmotifs are so good. You can click it right here. Not click it right there, but there's a link in the description. You can click it, and it should bring you to the video. It's a very good video. No, so the leitmotif right here, you hear it for the first time. It's the M&M Story Code Case leitmotif, and so this is the one that's gonna be a hero motif throughout the short film. And now let's see, you hear another motif right here. Let this clip play out, and there's another motif, but I'm gonna spoil the film really quickly. It's the shrimp and yellow M&M. This is the second leitmotif. This is a chocolate ball leitmotif. And so I wanted some kind of ominous, so this is on a very low cello, just do 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 do, like that. And then so we continue. And so, yep. Ha ha ha, very nice. And then here we go. This is when the score cuts out. Ready? When they fall down, the score cuts out. Because I wanted a moment of, I think they just died. But then, the next shot shows they're not dead, they're still alive. So I wanted that sense of, just like on a roller coaster, when you hit the top, you don't know when you're gonna drop. And when you do drop, it's like a, and then when you hit the bottom, it's, so this is the moment of, so here you go, continue. And then, yep. Let's keep going. And then here we go is a next motif. The motif for the chocolate ball gets played 3 times in different octaves, in different instruments as well. It just shows a dissolve of the chocolate ball because we think the chocolate ball is the antagonist for the film. Because we're not introduced to Yellow and Shrimpy until right after this dialogue scene. So right here. So this is where we get the actual shrimp motif, the very dark tone motif. Right here, and then right here is when we actually hear the M&M Story Code Case theme, but destroyed. And yeah, it's bad because the Yellow just killed who we thought were good people. So that's the film. Congratulations! Thank you so much for watching till the end of this behind the scenes video. It was so much fun to make, and if you want to continue watching, the next slide will give you more information. Thank you very much, and see you next time.